rhythm of what flows into the next thing, you know, and flows into the next thing. And so you do I do my booking activity last now. Nancy does her sponsoring activity last. So you want to be consistent with that so it triggers in your brain the next thing, because the thing, has anybody ever forgotten to do the guest survey?
No.
Yeah, I mean, we've all had those moments where we've totally forgotten. Oh, I forgot, you know, and so we want to be able to remember that. So I finished with my booking activity, and it flows very naturally because they've all had the opportunity to say yes or no to a booking, and now I want to see if I can get anybody else. So I say, okay, ladies, now we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to count up our Diva dollars. But before we do, I want you to pull out your guest surveys from your folder. And they pull that out, and I say, okay, so let's just look at this really fast. Take out your pens. And this is my guest survey. I just updated it, all people on my team, so I just updated it. But I always say, what did you love about tonight's show? Because I want them to at least answer something and get the ball rolling. And they all love something, and they put it on there. Something you learned. And then I wrote, would you love to get all of these pieces on your love list for free by having a few friends over to play in the bling? Then no thanks all the way to pick a date. So I'll say, all right, so, you know, you said yes, so go ahead and put a 10. You know, people that already do my booking activity. Then moving right along, I also say I'm interested in a fundraiser, I'm interested in passing around the book, I'm interested, one of the things that I'm trying to do a lot more of is shows at work. I really like to do lunch shows at offices. I'm having a lot of success with them, making me a lot of money, and I want to do one like 3 times a week. It'd be fantastic. Because they're easy, you're in and out in an hour. They got to get back to work, so my time is just boom, boom, boom. It's so great. So I need to tell them that I do that because they're not going to think about that naturally, and that's a great way to get more people to do shows that are especially the busy women. It's Christmas time, so right now every office place needs to shop for Christmas. They don't have time to schlep around the mall. I bring the product to you over lunch. You can shop, and then I have one girl at the office continue to collect the orders over the week. I don't even try to take the orders in that moment. I just tell them about the jewelry and get them going. Okay? So I tell them that, and then I said, "Are you interested in hearing more about selling Premiere?" No, all the way to let's chat. And then I write on there to remember that they can watch this video, and I send out a follow-up email. So anyway, I go over that. Now, while they're filling it out, I grab my Diva dollars, and I say, okay, ladies, I have 5 more Diva dollars before we pick the prize, okay, before we see who has the most. I want you to ask me anything you want to know about me selling the jewelry. From how often I work to how much it costs, it doesn't matter. I have to answer it. And so this is the time where I can then see who's really interested and intrigued. So I know in like 2 minutes when I'm done, I'm going to go right to her. So if Angie all of a sudden starts asking me questions, well, how can you do this? And, well, I have another one. They'll always go, I have another one. Well, you don't have to give me a Diva dollar. I mean, you don't have to, but I just want to know. Okay, that's the person I want to beeline to and talk. And if they're like, then okay, I really don't have anybody to chat with. But if I get that one person, then it's going to help me focus on who I need to talk to. Because I don't want to miss Angie because I'm talking to Cynthia about booking a show. Because really my priority is always the person interested in Premiere, and then I'm going to book the show. All right, so I'm going to do the Diva dollars, and then I have them pull it up. I say, okay, ladies, we're going to have a prize. So Diva dollar or guest survey, give me the guest survey. While I'm doing that, count the Diva dollars. Who thinks they have the most? And then I make them count. That gets the first prize. And then we pull a winner. If that person wins, they can't win twice. And I just have dollar prizes. So I get them from Michael's, Joanne Fabrics, the Incentive Store, clearance at Staples, all that kind of stuff. Goes in a cute little bag that's my Diva bag. And I do prizes. And we're going to, we're going to do that, and then we'll do the lull after. Yeah, so that's good, right? Okay, Julie. Okay, sorry. I know that's fine.
So both prizes that you give out are
dollar.
prizes.
Okay, so I don't need to put that. All right, so this is a closing of the show. At the end of it, I asked. I've just started actually using my guest survey throughout. I'm really excited about this because I've seen some great things for it. I just changed my survey, just so you can see it here. At the top of the show, I forgot to say this in the greetings because it's new. My order board looked like this, and there's 2 pieces of paper, the guest survey and then the jewelry list you saw earlier. I instruct them to take both pieces of paper out, turn this over, put it down. All right. I would like for you to fill out the top part. Let's get all that stuff out of the way. Name, address, or name, phone number, blah 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 blah. And ladies, let me tell you, I only ask for this information in case there's a problem with your order or I missed something, a size of something. I need to be able to reach you. That's why I want this information. I promise I'm not going to stop. But stop at the line, okay? So I tell them to stop at the line. And then I say, okay, now, and what you do when they finish at the stop at the line, like, okay, put your pens down and switch to the white piece of paper. I'll tell you when it's time to pick your pen up for the next part. You've got to tell them what to do, because otherwise they just start doing things. But here's my mom. Okay, so do you see my guest survey? Do you see any questions on here? That's awesome, right? Because you know why? Because it annoys me whenever I give them a guest survey at the beginning of the show and then they fill it out before I've even finished saying my name is Nancy. And I'm like, you don't know me yet, you don't know what you want yet, so why are you telling me no? No, you're going to change your mind. So that's why I don't give them any, I don't give them a chance to fill it out ahead of time because they don't know what to say. So at the end, after everything, I say, okay, ladies, we're going to finish filling out our survey. Now, here's the funny thing. You'll notice when you look at it, there's no questions, right? Because you have to listen to me. I tell them, and they're like, oh, I know that. So here is the thing. I'm going to tell you the first question, and I'm going to go over every single answer. Do not make a decision until I go over everything. Does everybody understand that? Do not fill it out until I finish, okay? So the first question is, do you want free jewelry? Okay? The answers are, you have 5 choices. First one is, yes, I want free jewelry, and I want to get it sometime soon because I'm impatient, and that's okay, right? So you're going to do your jewelry show in the next 1 to 3 months. The second answer is, yes, but I need to do it later. So I want to do it in 4 to 6 months. Time out, by the way, that's really for the baby people. I don't have that word up here because I hate that word. But the 4 to 6 monthers, I almost without fail, 90-95% of the time, they book in 2 to 3 months, not in 4 to 6. Almost without fail. They're just scared to say, I want to do it soon. But they do. All right, so yes, I want to do it later in 4 to 6 months. It makes me look like I'm nice, but really, they do what I want to do. The third choice you have is, yes, I want some free jewelry, but I'd like to do it as a fundraiser because I have an important organization that, that's important to me, and I'd like to do something to help them out. Okay, so that you can put as your answer. D is yes. You guys are getting an idea here. The answer is yes, by the way. If you answer D, yes, I'm willing to at least pass the books around and get some orders that way. Again, I know how I'm going to turn her into a full show at checkout if she puts on one of both orders. And of course, E is no thanks. I like to pay full price for my jewelry. It's okay if you need to. Okay, now those are all the answers. You can make your selections. Go ahead and write it down. Great. Okay, ladies. All right, now the next question, you'll notice there's 5 lines listed. What I'd like for you to do right now is no judgment, no thinking. You have 30 seconds to write down the name of 5 women that you know that love you, love jewelry, or owe you a favor. Okay, just 5 women. Go ahead and write them down. 30 seconds. If you do it, you get $5 more dollars. They do that. And then I say, okay, ladies, guess what? You just listed 5 people that can help you start your business. Because on average, it takes 4 to 6 jewelry shows to get started in this business. That will get you up and running. It will pay for your entire investment. So don't worry about how much it costs. Just know that you got 5 friends who are going to make it happen for you. Okay? So you got your business started. So that is super easy for you. Now, if you'll notice underneath that, there's a level 1 to 5. You can mark your interest level. Similar to what Julie was saying. We know what that is. And then, which by the way, side note, this is again new. I like 1 to 10 way better. I've always used 1 to 10 and I switched to 5. Go use 10. Referral, because it gives them more wiggle room. We're women. We can't, 5 is just better. I mean, 10 is better. Okay, referral, bigger is better. Referral, that is, then I'll explain, ladies, what I would love to know is if you're willing to be a referral center for me. And then that just means you're willing for me to tell you about the business and you can share that with other people that you may know that needs money. Just your way of helping others and helping to give back to this world and to the community. So if you'd like to do that, you should circle yes. And then the third question is very simple, and that is, if our hostess tonight decided to become a jeweler and do what I do, would you be willing to help her out and do a starter show? Yes, I can do it, or no, just not right now. Okay, pretty simple. So that's my survey. By the way, this last question is super important because I now give that information to my hostess. I don't tell her who. but I'll say at the end when I'm checking, closing out with her, I'll say, by the way, just so you know, I made $350 tonight. This could have been you, and 6 of your friends here tonight said that they would do a show for you. So there's the start of your business. You're ready to go. What's holding you back? So this is information for me really to use when I post this later. All right. So that's my survey. Oh, prizes. After I give them another Diva dollar for the survey. After I get back all the surveys, I do prizes. I do it based on the most amount of Diva dollars. Top usually 2 to 3, depending on the group, the size of the group. If it's a small group, like 5 or 7 people, I only give away 2 prizes. But if it's anything over 7, it's usually 3 prizes. If I'm feeling generous, 4.
I love what she does though. She doesn't give a prize for the guest survey. She gives them a Diva dollar. So everybody that turns, so she has to get the guest survey back to give them the Diva dollar.
What about,
Then she gives more prizes, 2 or 3.
what about if they don't fill it out? Like, if you get one.
Their name.
I've never had people people say that all the time, and I'm like,
I said, what and you actually take it from them. You don't have them fold it and pass it in.
no.
You take it from them.
She's giving the Diva dollar. That's what I like about that. So I'm going to change
They get the name and the address, and then they don't fill anything else out.
I want to tell you one thing too that I've done that's cute. When I have people tie with the Diva dollars, I say, ladies, if you tie, then we're going to have a Diva off. All right? And so if they tie, then I go, okay, you tied, so we're going to have a Diva off. Are you ready? I have 5 Diva dollars. I'm going to ask you a question. Whoever answers it first gets the Diva dollar. I hope you were paying attention. What percentage do I make? Oh, yeah, 50. Okay. What percentage of free jewelry does the hostess get? Oh, 30. Okay, you get that. What do we do if the jewelry breaks? Oh, there's a gold guarantee. Okay, how long do you have to get it for free? Oh, I don't know, 60. And I just come up with questions, and then somebody wins. Yay, Angie won! And I say, Kelly, you can get a prize too. So Angie gets the first one, and Kelly gets the second one, just for having a little bit of fun with me. But it makes everybody giggle and have a little bit of fun. So,
I make them arm wrestle. I say that, but then I say it.
now, the last thing that we want to talk about right now, and then we have a whole other thing of closing one-on-one that we're going to talk about later. But the last thing that we want to just chat with you guys about is finishing out the show, and it's the most important part of the show. It's right before checkout. It's even more important than checkout. Of course, we know at checkout, you know what to do. You're going to add their order, you're going to talk to them, you're going to talk to them about booking a show again. But before you even get there, Lauren, I don't know if you coined this, but I definitely learned it from you, and that's the 10-minute lull. And so what do you do between the time that the show ends and the time that you check out? So during that 10-minute lull, it's a really important time. And what I do is I leave my jewelry right where it's at. And that's important because years ago I used to clean it all up, put it nicely back on the table. First of all, that's what they want to touch. That's what they want to see. If you go mix it up with 300 other pieces of jewelry, they can't find it again. So just leave it. Plus, that takes you 10 minutes. So just leave it. It's in a big, horrible mess, and that's okay. It's all over the table, and they're going to play in it. It just makes it feel more comfortable. What I want to do is, Angie was asking me lots of questions during that 5-question thing. So I'm not going to worry about anything else. I'm going right over to her. And I'm going to sit down and I'm going to say, Angie, you asked me some really great questions. Did you ever think about doing something like this? And I'm going to see her response. That is my priority. You've got to have your priorities straight. You've got to start at the top and work your way down. I'm not going to go to the table and see if and we can add earrings to that, and we can add a bracelet to that, and upsell. I do absolutely no upselling. My retail is very high, and I never work for it.
I'm just going to say same thing, just so you guys know. In parallel businesses, in the exact same way. I don't go to tables.
Not one time will I go to the table. I'm not interested at all. Like if they have a question, can I find this? I will help them. I will serve them, but I'm not trying to sell them more. At checkout, I might say, did you just notice that? Did you see the matching bracelet? Like if they got Seaside, I'm going to say, did you see that it has a bracelet? That kind of stuff. But my focus is jewelers, and then my focus is booking. So I'm going to come over to Cynthia, who took a scarf, and I'm going to get my calendar, and I'm going to sit right down with her, and we're going to find a date. This is going to help a lot of you that struggle at checkout for the speed of the time that it takes to do checkout and worrying about asking the questions. So those people that have booked, I can sit there and I can go over those papers with her. Nobody else is ready to check out. Now, I also do something else. I eat. Now, I think number one, I'm hungry. But number two, like if I can, and sometimes you end up going right to the checkout area and the hostess hopefully remembers you and brings you all the time. But it's not as much about eating as it is about relating, like Nancy talked about. When I go into that kitchen and I lean up against the refrigerator and I'm getting my chip and dip and I'm standing there talking, they're talking about whatever they're talking about and I'm a total nibby nose. Oh, really? So, wait. What are you talking about? Where do you work? What are you doing? I'm listening to conversations and I dive right in. I have decided that I am a guest at that show and I either behave like a guest or I behave like hired help. I'm a guest. And so I want to get to know everybody. I want to know their conversations. You've got to make yourself part of it. If you escape and vanish, back in that room, then they don't even know, there's no relationship building. And so I go there, and then I deal with bookings, and then I go get me some food. Okay? And I talk, and then I'm talking, and how you doing? Is anybody ready for me? Now, the other thing is when I go into checkout, I'm doing an order, the moment she stands up, so this is really me in checkout a lot, so I'm sitting there, and they walk out, and I stand up, I take 2 steps, okay, and I have to come back and check somebody out, okay, I'm ready, okay, because I'm always trying to get up and get out to the people, always, so I'm constantly up and down, and I'll come out, hey, I'm open, does anybody need me, are you doing okay, and at that point, I'm still relating and talking to people, I'm trying to get them in there to be done. Okay, and now, if there's nobody that I need to help, I'm cleaning up my stuff. At that point, I go to the table. I start cleaning it up. It sends a silent message. I take it to the table. I start putting the stuff into my trays that are going to be all stacked together. I put stuff into the showcase. I'm getting that stuff. I'm cleaning up all my folders. Because I am not going to wait until Cynthia finally places her order at 9:30 at night. No, I'm going to be ready with my stuff by the door in order to get out of there. And then, after it's all done, I add it all up. And I get paid a sparkle sheet to the hostess, which that girl I just sponsored at that point looked at that and went, what? I guess I better watch the video. So that I get paid a sparkle sheet is very important.
I need a tag.
Yeah.
The question.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I am like the teenage boy that's so nervous about this girl that is interested. That's what I call it because I know she's interested. She was asking me before the show's been started. I don't know how to get her away from that group of people that are already shopping in the jewelry. I don't know how to kind of pull her away so that I can say, hey, you sounded really interested in the business.
I guess I don't pull her away. I go and sit down next to her and I just talk to her because I'm not afraid of anything that's going to come out of her mouth. So I guess, it's good to hear your perspective because I would think as someone that doesn't sponsor all the time, you're a little nervous about what's going to come out of her mouth and am I going to have the right response. I don't need an audience. I'm not afraid of that. So you need to not be afraid of that. You just need to go sit down and, even in a group like this, Sharon and Lindsay could be talking and nobody's really paying attention. They're doing their own thing. They're not all sitting there silently reading a book and they hear everything you say. So, and honestly, when I start talking to Angie, Sharon's over here looking at the book and she goes, Annie, you should do this. This is so new. So again, it's just like booking. They fly in with comments. And if you screw it up, oh well. If you never talk to her, you screwed it up, right? I mean, so, you go over there and you start talking to her, see what happens. Just talk to her. It's so critical to just get it started. If she's interested, you're doing her a disservice if you don't go over and talk to her.
Do you find yourself with the hostesses that are booking not, we have problems like they're not buying it, but they're trying not to buy?
Oh, sure.
What do you?
So I say to them, if that happens, if I go to Cynthia and I'll say something like, well, and we'll finish this up when we place an order or something like that, and she says, oh, I don't think I'm going to order tonight. I say, oh, Cynthia, honey, you got to get something. You got to get a nice chunky something that people are going to notice because that's going to get them excited. And when they say to you, when you invite them to the show and they say, oh, do you
have as you go, nothing, then that's not gonna, this is gonna help you get more people to your show. I talk them through that. But if it's because they really don't have any money, then you could give them a discount. You just gotta use your intuition.
Oh.
Okay, girls, I'm sorry. We're almost done. We're almost at 5:20. I know, time out. It's dinner break. I mean, we have all that time. It's a break of time. This is my fault. I didn't forewarn you guys. The dinner break time is that we break and you guys prep while we have a potty break. I know, it's my fault, so I apologize. But I wanted you to know, because I don't want you guys to miss out on things. I know you want to do your job. So, put the vegetables down. We appreciate that you want to do this, but we don't need to eat at 5:20 because there's like 20 minutes for you to prep quickly while we do that. Then, okay? I'm sorry. You guys are the first group, and so you're getting so put the vegetables down and the knives and everything. The water.
But I pay $3.50 every single year to be a jewelry lady, which is about the profit from 1 or 2 shows. It's the best investment I make every year.
I tell them it's $1 a day to be a jewelry lady.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on.
I'm a builder.
All right. And now during the 10-minute lull after the show is done, this is where I'm going to try to take the time to share with them more about the business. I know some of you have heard training on 6 minutes to win it, or 5 for 5 deal, whatever. This is a new version that I stole from Kathy Allen, who is wonderful, amazing, we all know her. She calls it the after party. And I love that verbiage because who doesn't want to go to the after party? Alright, so you want to be invited to the after party. So I do this at the end of my sponsoring segment. So I prep this, but then I do it actually physically during the 10-minute lull. This is very important because if you are one who your time is limited and you're not going to have a chance to reach out to every single person, you're going to want to make sure you're doing this. I can't tell you how many people come up to me at rallies or trips or whatever and tell me that they do 6 minutes to win it every time, all the time, and they are sponsoring and they never sponsored before. Okay, I'm just trying to give you the importance of how it can help your business. Oh, time out. Another thing I meant to say, and I thought of this one, forgot to say, it's not about this, but it's something else within this. It's important for you guys as leaders, because we're talking about lifeguarding your business. As leaders, you need to have all these tools, I might not do the after party at every single show, but I know how to do it, and I know how to coach my jewelers to do it, not train them, coach them. I'm going to coach them to do it, and I'm going to coach them how to do the mouse booking, cooking, something. Whatever it is. So I really should have said at the very beginning to say, don't just think about yourself, but think about your team, because you want a lifeguard. You gotta help them. You've got to resuscitate their business when maybe it's failing, right? So you've got to pay attention to all of it. And if it's not for you, it could be for somebody on your team. Back in. After party. Okay, so after my sponsoring activity, if I'm not passing out the checks, I'll say, ladies, listen, I know you probably want to know a little bit more about what I do. Great. So I am going to do something special tonight. I don't normally do this, but we're going to do it. And I am going to do something tonight called the after party. Now, we all know everybody wants to be invited to the after party. And what it is basically once we finish this presentation, if you're just willing to give me 5 more minutes of your time, that's it, 5 minutes, I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about Premier. So if I've said something that's made you curious, you might want to check it out. But here's the thing, you can't just go to an after party. You have to have an invitation. Okay? So this is the invitation. I'm going to invite you all. It's up to you. You accept the invitation. So I'm gonna pass this around. If you would like to come to the after party, you're gonna take this. Again, you don't have to stay later tonight. This is immediately once we stop, this presentation part and people start shopping. We're gonna go and talk in the kitchen for 5 more minutes. And, oh, by the way, if you come to the after party, I might just do a drawing for a business, just saying. All right, so I'm gonna pass these around. If you'd like to come to the after party, make sure you come. Okay? Make sure you take an invitation because it is invitation only. All right, so before I move on and tell you what I do, did you guys pick up on some things that I was doing in there? How inviting you need to try to make it. It's not like I'm doing this thing called after party and you stay for 5 more minutes. You gotta make it sound good. You gotta make it sound sexy, right? And if you don't know how to do that, talk to your outline. I'm sure they can help you with that. It's all about selling and sizzle, okay? But it's exclusive, right? In the invitation, that's part of it. What's nice too is, this is what I love. I watch them pass it around, and like 2 girlfriends are sitting right here together. And so the paper comes, and she goes, "Yeah, let's listen. Okay, we should both listen. Here, you take one, I'll take one." Like they real quietly go, "Yeah, we should do that." It is so fun to watch that happen as it goes around the room. But what also it is it's just a little visual for me. I now see those little blue pieces of paper. I know I got it up. Now, do I do this and people don't take it? Yes, absolutely. But I still told them about the information, and I'm still going to follow up with them at checkout, right? So I pass around the invitations. Then after I do the survey, prizes are done, I say, "Okay, ladies, go have fun shopping." Those of you who took the exclusive invitations to the after party, I'll meet you in the kitchen. Okay, so go to the kitchen, and they come over. The people there in the after party. You guys can pass this around if you want to see. It just says after party. You're invited. And then I give to each of them. So we get in the kitchen. We're just standing there. Again, it's 5 minutes or less. I give each of them a handout. This is the 6 points on Premiere that they need to know. Pass this out. I'm gonna project this so you can see it. So you can see exactly what I do. Okay, but there are some visual clues that are important for you to see. So I give everybody this paper and I say, "Okay, ladies, I'm basically going to tell you real quick the 6 things you need to know about making some extra income in Premiere." And then I go, "Number 1. All right, when I go number 1, guess what they all do? That's important because if they're looking down, they're not going, "Oh, chopping vegetables in the kitchen." Okay, they're focused on what you're saying. So, number 1. We have a great, and this is how easy this is. We have a great product with a great price. You just saw the jewelry, I know you loved it. You'll note that over half of our line is under $40, so it's affordable for anyone's budget. Also, our entire line is covered by our golden guarantee, so you can offer our jewelry with pride. Number 2, we have a wonderful hostess plan. I just told you about this. Are you ready? Am I moving enough? Number 2, we have a wonderful hostess plan. Our average hostess gets $200 in free jewelry. I just explained that. Ladies, I want to tell you what's important is that this is what keeps your business going. When I started in Premiere, I had 5 people who did starter shows with me. That was 10 years ago, and I have not been without a show yet. Okay, it keeps going because people want free jewelry. Because people can shop. Number 3, we make 50% of our retail sales. This is an industry high. Not many companies can say that. An average jeweler makes about $250 per home show. Wouldn't that be great to go home with $250 tonight? Tonight, you can go home with that. Just saying. And that's because we get paid the night of our show. We don't have to wait for a check back from our company. It's like waiting tables. It's instant gratification. Number 4, we get a commission from our downline, and this is called the 10-10-10, and that is because Premiere pays us 10% for 3 levels deep. Now, that is a little bit confusing, so real quick, if we're standing in a circle, I'll say, so if you decide to become a jewelry lady, every time you send money to Premiere, if you are in my Premiere family, I'm going to get 10%. If you decide to, every time you send money to Premiere, 10% is going to go here, 10% is going to go here. And then you decide to be a jewelry lady, 10%, 10%, 10%. I try to go I literally do it that fast. I don't need to draw it out because I promised them 5 minutes. They want to get to the brownies. Now, then again, ladies, that part is the key to a higher income per year. So if you're looking to really make some extra income, that might be something to focus on. Number 5, you get started in Premier from anywhere $400 to $900, depending upon how much tool you select. One thing that is great is that we have financing available, so you can start with no cash out of your pocket. And the best thing is that most people pay this back in 4 to 6 shows. Okay, so 4 to 6 home shows, and then you're going to make your investment back. So if you wrote down 5 names on your survey tonight, there you go. Number 6. After you become a jeweler, you hold a training show, which is your kickoff party, essentially a ribbon cutting ceremony. So if you had a boutique, we'll bring big scissors, have a ribbon, exciting. Everybody wants their own ribbon cutting ceremony, don't they? And the best part is your sponsor will conduct this for you, but you get all the profits, so you make money from day 1, not day 30. You also get bookings from the show and free jewelry. Now, I want you to make sure you direct your attention to the bottom of the paper. And what do they do then? They look at the bottom, right? Direct your attention to the bottom of the paper. And this just has listed my first 6 home shows. Don't worry about the first 2 columns. The most important one is the profit. If you'll notice, after 6 home shows, I profited over $2,000. Ladies, this is when I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know what a cute necklace was. I was jewelry illiterate, okay? So $2,000 for somebody who doesn't know what they're doing after 6 times, that's pretty impressive. So you owe it to yourself to really consider this. Now do me a favor. I'm going to do a little drawing for a bracelet, as I promised, so that your ticket that you have, flip it over, write your name on it, and then write on there a scale of 1 to 10 what your interest level is. I know you've already put it on your survey, but maybe it's changed. Maybe it's a little different. And then that way, I'll know how to follow up with you. And please, ladies, and I say this, please be honest with me, because I want to know what I need to do to help you with more information. So they do that, they fill it out, I give them the bracelet, and they go on about their merry way. And then my real work begins. Then I take those and I look at them. Here's what's fun, is I've noticed sometimes people that are 1 or 2 in the show are 7 or an 8 after this, okay? So now, at checkout, I'm going to follow up with them. Kind of sort of is some of the stuff we're going to be doing a little bit later on. I'm not going to get into too much right now. So I'm going to follow up with them later. Okay?
Do you give them a bracelet from the full line or the tennis bracelet?
I use the charm bracelet.
Oh, you use the charm bracelet with that, okay.
Yeah.
But I love that double line.
The double bracelet.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do for my sponsoring,
So
yeah.
we're a little higher than the buck.
Yeah.
Do you love that? I so do.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so awesome.
You really, I mean, it's doing, what's important, ladies, is you're doing the whole marketing plan, except for you're not breaking out the $395 in the boutique. You're giving them the basics, but now your work comes to checkout. Okay, so you said that you were 6, you know what? What I would love to know what you liked about what I told you. And she says, whatever, and then you say, okay, we need to talk tomorrow, because I need to just give you the full details. This was only 5 minutes, just wet your whistle. What time works for you tomorrow? And that's when I get on the phone, that's when I explain the $395 in the boutique, and I walk her through doing the application, and it's like, oh, does your hostess listen in? Yes, sometimes they do.
She can?
Absolutely. Yes.
What'd she ask? Does your hostess what?
Listen in. Like, if they want to sign up that night, can this now become their training show, or do they have to do another show?
No, they have to do another show.
And a lot of times, I have a lot of hostesses who sign up afterwards, but I do, I call their pretend training show, their mock training show, and I say, just get your neighbors and mother over,
Right.
get $100 in orders, and I'm still gonna go through it, and I tell the 2 people that are there, where this is the training practice, she just did a show last week, as you know, we're just getting her up and running, so I'm gonna use this as a teaching, coaching tool. So I will role play through it, I will go through it, but stop and coach her along the way.
Right. And I just did that. It was unfortunate that I had that hostess I told you about. No one showed up at her show, but her mom. But we didn't skip a beat. She did the whole show instead of me, and I prompted her what to say, and it was a great experience. So doing something like that, and what we would do is we would combine them together. So if she really decides that night, then we just gotta get her number that night, do another show that week, and put it all together, so that
So she doesn't get a lot of profits and a lot of free jewelry then from that
she would.
training show?
She would be combined together in one
Okay,
show.
so you would actually give her.
I consider that like pre-sales, you know?
So that show you, like that show you did just like 10 minutes ago, you let her get everything as a benefit.
I
of the
do.
training show.
If she signs up that night, I'll do another show, and then I'll consider that pre-sales and put it all together. Because that, she just decided, but we have to do another trade show, and then I'd like for her to do it herself so I can watch her.
And then you give her all the bookings that you pick up
Yeah.
that show.
If she signs up that
Sure,
night,
you
if she
hold it
signs
so I
up,
can move.
I have another tour who just signed up, and she missed out on the boutique sale. We had a great show. I held those shows, and now she signed up this one, which is great. But I'm not going to go. If that happens later, I will look at the bookings. If it's her sister, basically I decided on that hostess. Would that hostess really rather go with that new jeweler? So if she's her sister, her aunt, her cousin, her best friend, her next door neighbor, she is. If it was a lady from work, she might not care, and so I might keep that show. So that's a good question to ask your upline to talk out, what's going on with those shows that you might have booked if she becomes a jewelry lady.
And if everyone paid you that night for the orders, because we know she's going to be
Right.
you then have to write her.
Yeah. So, did you guys feel like we filled you up there with a lot of information? Are you